watching WCSD from Calloway County High School.
The memorial's breathtaking. In my mind, the memorial represents freedom for the world. To this day, all of the Pacific is free, all of Europe is free, and thank God America is free.
Welcome to our Veterans Day program here at CCHS. As you may know, Veterans Day here in the United States is set aside to honor the contributions to our country made by military veterans, both present and past. It's a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Today I'm here with both Colonel Bill Cowan, who is the Vice Commander of American Legion Post 73, and Mr. Bill Markham, a former Calloway County Sheriff who helps with the Honor Flight program in Kentucky. The Honor Flight program is committed to helping veterans visit the various war memorials in Washington, D.C. Just to get more of an idea of what this program is about, here's a quick video that summarizes the importance of Honor Flight.
The National Park Services dedicated the World War II Memorial on the National Mall in May of 2004 to commemorate the sacrifices and celebrate the victories of the greatest generation. There were more than 16 million Americans who served in the armed forces during World War II, and it's estimated that fewer than 2 million are still with us today. Faced with the challenges of aging, it is unlikely that many of these veterans will be able to visit the memorial established in their honor. That's where Honor Flight Network steps in. With the help of volunteers and donors, Honor Flight transports our veterans free of charge to visit their memorial in D.C. Since its inaugural flight in 2005, Honor Flight Network has escorted more than 30,000 veterans to visit their memorial. Today, the Honor Flight Network takes off from more than 100 hubs across the country. Honor Flight Bluegrass is one of the newest hubs in the network. Founded by Captain Brian Duffy, the Bluegrass chapter has organized 14 flights since spring 2008 and has helped nearly 800 World War II veterans make the trip to D.C. For Kentucky veterans who go on an honor flight, the day starts early with a 5 a.m. flight out of Louisville Stanford Field on Southwest Airlines.
You guys ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
We'd like to thank each and every one of you. It's truly a privilege to serve you today.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
When they walk into that memorial and they see that their friends will never be forgotten, that the sacrifice that they paid will always be cherished, always revered, always honored by this nation, they're taken back by that. For the World War II veterans, this is their last hurrah. They don't have reunions anymore. Most of their comrades in arms have all passed away. Quite often they are the sole survivors of that tank crew or that ship or that air crew. Bringing them into their memorial, they come there representing all of their friends.
Just have to remember where so many comrades are laying out there yet. Just one of these things, you know, before I die, I wanted to see it. Now I can go home, and if I croak, so what? I did it.
I'm just sorry my wife couldn't be here. She died about 6 months ago.
At the end of a long day, veterans return to Stanford Field, where they are greeted by Kentuckians currently serving in the military, veterans, family, and friends. It's an emotional and rewarding day for all involved.
There was so much that went on. It was a whole atmosphere all day of the thank yous, and tremendous.
Today has reminded me of a lot of things that we did during the war that was good, and today I've been blessed.
Honor Flight of the Bluegrass has many important partners in making this dream come true for our veterans. Southwest Airlines, the Honorable Order of Kentucky Colonels, the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs, many local VFW and American Legion posts, the George Head Trust Foundation, and the Grulich family have all been instrumental in making sure Kentucky veterans are able to realize their dreams of seeing their memorial. The VA, estimating that we lose about 1,000 World War II vets each day, and with more than 6,000 World War II vets on the Honor Flight waiting list, time is running out. For these reasons, Honor Flight is currently focused on getting World War II veterans to D.C., but ultimately the organization aims to pay tribute to America's other heroes as well, to those who have served in the Korean and Vietnam Wars, as well as more current wars. The folks at Honor Flight are constantly working to expand their programs and services to include more veterans and honor those who have served our country and made our world a safer place to live. The Honor Flight Network gives us the opportunity to say thank you to our veterans and provide them with the recognition they so richly deserve.
I think that video gave you guys a good idea of what Honor Flight is all about, and now we're going to talk to our guests about their personal involvement with this program. Before we do that, first of all, Mr. Cowan, briefly tell us about your military service.
Well, I went into the service in 1967, and I served for 21 years on active duty, and of course was in the Vietnam War, and spent some time in Germany as well. And then I retired in 1987, and I came right here to Calloway County High School and started a second career as a teacher.
Wow. Well, on behalf of Calloway County High School, I would like to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And let's talk to Mr. Markham about how you are involved with the Honor Flight program.
Okay, how I became involved in it when I was a former sheriff, Sheriff Kane in Owensboro, Daviess County. We were at a conference and the subject came up about this, and I told him I'd like to participate in it. Mm-hmm. And so we brought that back to Callaway County. I spoke with a colonel at American Legion Post, and we got some names of some men that would like to go. And so we started that process. Took about a year to get all the necessary things together, and I was able to be their sponsor to go to the flight. I got to go with them. Very good. Loved it. It was a good experience.
What was your favorite part about going on these trips with veterans?
Favorite part? Sorry for the delay here.
Oh, no.
I would think probably the experience of just witnessing the reactions of the veterans at the memorial.
Yeah, that was a very big part of it. Like I say, and of course the guys got to talking to the other men that were there, and some of their family was there too that came in on the flight. While we were actually at the memorial, Senator Bob Dole and his wife came, and the senator was very much involved in getting the memorial started. So the guys had a lot of time with him and her, and well, there were some pictures and stuff with it. Of course, we took, I don't know how many pictures that we did, but like like the video was saying too, and the guys, everywhere we went, people were thanking them for their service, and we were at the motel waiting to go. There's one of them there that's showing, but at the airport, especially when we came home that night about midnight, all the active people, service people was there, the bands were there, welcome the guys home again. So.
Mm-hmm. But, how much planning goes into like taking one trip? I know you just can't do it on the spur of a moment.
Oh yeah, like I say, it took us about a year to get, of course we put the applicants mm-hmm. out and we have to apply for it. You got to, see if, and again, it's kind of put pressure on you too, because as they were saying in the video, we lose 1,000 World War II mm-hmm. veterans a day. So, and then in ours, we didn't lose any during that period, but one had to drop out that wanted to be because of his health. And since then, we've lost one of our veterans that got to go. But there's one of my favorite pictures too. That's come up there with you see the capsule on the very back and all that. It's right in the middle of that. But you know, with that involvement with it, and like I say, you know, we had a itinerary there, and it was it didn't seem like, you know, the whole day didn't act like it was an hour really, because once we left out that morning, especially, and you know how we had it there, and you know how we were greeted at the airport with the fire department out there did the crossover, you know, with the plane, and the U.S. Parks Department, of course, that's where the memorial is there in D.C. We had a escort that escorted the bus down through D.C., so that was pretty cool too. We didn't in that big bus we were in, and you know we got to see a lot of stuff, but it was a lot quicker too. You know, so I mean the whole community. I mean, they just go out to, you know, support the veterans to that effect, and there's the senator and his wife when they came by there. We're in front of the Pacific Monument there, as it shows that part as they went around. That's where we kind of just staged up right there, and they had a good interview. The gentleman it's in the wheelchair there, he's passed this year too.
So while you're in Washington D.C., how many memorials do you visit, or which ones do you visit?
Okay, the main ones that we visited was we went by the World War I monument. We stopped there. Well, you can tell that's at the Lincoln Memorial right there as it goes down. We stopped there, and then over to the right is the Korean. We went to it there. It is, and then we went the way the Vietnam Memorial stuff is. When you go by it, of course, there's the Iwo Jima. We spent a lot of time there at that, and then took a lot of pictures, and a few people made some talks there. And, a lot of the guys were, you know, reminiscing with where they served and the time they were there, and all that. So that was part of the whole thing, where they could get together and meet the other guys and their other comrades there, and it was just, like I say, the whole day was just something going on all the time. That we went, they had it straightened out. And it like I say, I didn't serve in the military, but I had 5 uncles that did.
Okay, so Mr. Cowan, I know that you wanted to speak about the importance of war memorials.
Yes, this is really probably something more suited for Memorial Day, but since we're talking about honor flights and we do have the veterans, etc., I like the history teacher in me causes me to want to do this. After the Battle of Little Round Top and General Joshua Chamberlain erected a stone monument, he used these words to express what these monuments mean. And I thought it was so moving, because when we go to cemeteries or you go to places like the World War II Memorial, sometimes you look at them and you don't make a connection. And I'd like for people to just think about this, and it helps make the connection. And this is what he wrote. He said, "Reverent men and women from afar, in generations that know us not, whose hearts are drawn to see where and by whom great things were suffered and done for them, shall come to see the deathless fields of battle," and this was done at Gettysburg, "and also war memorials, in order to ponder and to dream. And lo, the shadow of a mighty presence shall wrap them in its bosom, and the power of the vision shall pass into their souls." And I find that very moving. The power of the vision of what that represents, you know, passes into the souls of those who are watching it. And of course, I think that's the feeling that the veterans get when they go to the World War II Memorial, thinking back of their experiences during the war.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks again for joining us today and telling us about the Honor Flight program. If you would like to learn more about Honor Flight, you can check their website. Just log on to honorflightkentucky.org to find out more details. You can check out the photos and videos on the National Honor Flight Program webpage. Go to honorflight.org. I'm sure they would like to have your help either as a volunteer or with a financial contribution. And finally today, We would like to take a look at a serious problem facing many veterans today. Even though they survived combat duty, the things they experienced on the battlefield continue to haunt them psychologically, making it very difficult to adjust life to life back at home.
My name is Staff Sergeant David Crockett, United States Army.
My name is Tyler Southern. I was a corporal in the United States Marine Corps.
Just outside of Samara, Iraq, we were hit with a massive IED.
We were given accurate intelligence that were up to 6 Taliban held up in a compound.
Instantly, just a blast of hot air just came over me, and an intense pressure that you couldn't imagine.
We all split up and took different sides. I led my team to the far side, which was laced with 4 IEDs.
At that point, it basically rendered me unconscious for 45 minutes. I was in and out for about an hour until I basically kind of came to in a field hospital at Fob Spiker in Tikrit.
We all missed the first one on the front corner and turkey peeking a doorway. I stepped on the second. 10 pounds of homemade explosives, pressure plate IED, buried 6 inches, detonated immediately.
I've been home about 6 months now, and I still have my doubts. I'm not sure how I got here or how I'm gonna get out. And my mama says I look the same as I did before I left. But if she could see inside of me, it would scare her to death. I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun. I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, got it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. They taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Last Saturday they honored us in a small parade downtown. When they shot off those fireworks, I nearly hit the ground. And while they smiled and cheered for us, all I could do was stare.
I've prided myself on finding the silver lining in absolutely every situation. No matter how hard it is to find, there is a bright side to everything. I may have been relieved of 3 of my original issued limbs, but that gave me the opportunity to find true love, family, made him a possibility. You know, you might have to widen your gaze, but it's there.